Hi 6th graders, I hope you've been doing well. Today we are going to work on 5.6, which is all about ordered pairs in the coordinate plane. Our learning target is I can identify ordered pairs using the coordinate plane. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So we have some key vocab words when we look at a coordinate plane. Okay, so this line that's going up and down, it's like our number line except it's going up and down, that's called our y-axis. And then the one that's going side to side, so this one right here, that is called your x-axis. Okay, so those are where you start. You always start at 0, 0, which is called your origin. Okay, and then if you notice, it looks like there's 4 different sections to our coordinate plane. Each of those 4 sections are called a quadrant. And then I did write the names of each of the quadrants. We start in the right top one, this is called quadrant 1, and then moving over to the left, that's called quadrant 2, moving down, quadrant 3, and then lastly quadrant 4. And if you notice, we write them as Roman numerals. Okay, so it looks like an I, that means 1, and then with the 2 lines, that means 2, the 3 lines means 3, and then the V stands for 5. But when the 1 is in front of it, that means we're subtracting 1 from 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4, and that is why we have quadrant 4. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's take a look at our vocab word. It is called an ordered pair. It is a pair of numbers that can be used to locate a point on the coordinate grid. So, for example, if we have the point 2, 3, this 2 is standing for our x, and the 3 is standing for the y. Okay, what this 2 means is I'm moving on my x-axis. So remember, our x-axis is this one here. We are moving 2 to the right. Okay, so this means I'm moving 2 to the right. And then our 3 is our y-axis. And if we take a look at our graph, our y-axis is this one that's going up and down. So we are going to be moving 3 up. Alright, so now let's practice. Our point is 2, 3. So we always start at 0, 0. Okay, we are moving 2 to the right on our x-axis. So over 1, over 2, so that's where we'll start. And then we're moving 3 units up. So we go up 3, 1, 2, 3. This right here is our point. All these little dots do not matter. Okay, and then the last thing is you will most likely see a letter in front of your point. All that means is this is point A. So on our graph, we need to label it as point A. Okay, so we need to always move to the left or to the right first, and then move up or down. So now let's practice. We are going to graph the ordered pairs and name the quadrants where each point lies. Alright, so this looks a little confusing because this one got cut on top. So just go ahead and cross that off. Okay, so we have F, which is 3, 5. So we move 3 to the right and 5 up. Okay, so we always start at 0, 0. So we're moving 3 to the left, 3 to the right, And then we're moving 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our point is right there. Okay, and that was letter F. So then go ahead and label an F next to our point. Fabulous. Moving on to number 2. This time we have R, 0, 5. So that 0 moves, I'm not moving anywhere. I'm staying on the x-axis. So move 0. And then our 5, remember it's x and y. Our y is going up. So we are moving 5 up. Okay, so let's practice this one. Number 2. Let me erase those little dots so they're not confusing. Alright, so we are staying at 0, and we are going up, I forgot how many, up 5. So over 0, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right there is our point. And now we need to label that letter. It was letter R. All right, moving on to the third one. We have -1, 3. So this time, instead of moving to the right one, we are moving 1 to the left. And then we are still going up 3. All right, so let's practice. We are moving to the left 1 and up 3. So we start at 0, 0. We're moving over 1, but then up 3. 1, 2, 3. So here is our point. And then this letter is letter O. So go ahead and label your point as O. Awesome, we have one more of these. This time we have 2, -4. So we are moving 2 up. Oops, sorry, not up. 2 to the right. And then -4, we are moving 4. Instead of going up, since it's negative, we are moving down. All right, so let's go ahead and let's graph this. We're going 2 to the right, so we start at 0, go 2 to the right, and now we're going down 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Our point shares a point with S, and this was G. Awesome, so that is how we graph our points. Okay? Now we're going to talk about how to locate ordered pairs. So we need to name the coordinates and the quadrant where each point lies. So let's find point P. And if you notice, it's right here. Okay, we need to figure out what our coordinate is. So we look, are we moving to the left or to the right from 0, from right here? Right, we're moving to the left. How many to the left? Well, 1, 2. So we moved over -2. That's your first number. We moved to the left, -2. And now we're moving up or down to get to P from this point right here. Right, we're moving down. 1, 2, 3. So a -3. Fabulous. And then we need to name what quadrant it's in. If you remember, this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and lastly quadrant 4. And this one is in quadrant 3. So that is your answer. Perfect. Moving on to letter R. Here's R. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how many we're moving over. Well, if you notice, we're going over 1, 2, 3. So our first number is a +3. Are we moving up any? No, we're not. So our second number is 0. And this time, it's not really in a quadrant, but it's on an axis. What axis is it on? Is it on our x-axis or our y-axis? Right, it's on our x-axis. And if you don't remember, it had an x right above our axis for us. So for number 2, we write x-axis. All right, and our next one is Q. So here's letter Q. We start at 0. Are we moving to the left or to the right? Right, we're moving to the left, so it's going to be a negative. -1, -2, -3. So that's your first number. That's your x coordinate. And now our y value is if we're moving up or if we're moving down. Well, we're moving up 1, so that tells us it's a +1. So -3, 1. Now we need to figure out which quadrant this is in. Well, if you notice, this is in the second quadrant. So that is what you would write. All right, and our last one of these, letter S. Well, S is sharing our coordinate with letter G. So we are going to start at 0, 0. Are we moving to the left or to the right? Right, we're moving to the right. We're going over 1, 2. So our first number is 2. And are we going up or are we going down? Yes, we're going down, so it's negative. -1, -2, -3, -4. So 2, -4. Now the last thing we need to do is figure out what quadrant it is in. Well, if you notice, it is in quadrant 4. So that is how we graph ordered pairs and locate ordered pairs. Now we're going to take a look at our last word problem. So it says a map of the Faribault Aquarium is shown below. What exhibit is located at 6-5? So to figure that out, we need to go ahead and we need to plot that point. So remember, we start at 0, 0, and we are going to move to the right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is our point at 6, 5. What exhibit is there? Right, we're at Explore the Shore. Fabulous. Moving on to the second one. What are the coordinates of the fur seals? So you could pick any of these points that are on the fur seals. I'm just going to choose this one. Alright, so now we need to give the coordinates. Well, if you notice, am I moving to the left or to the right any from 0? I'm not. So our first number is 0. How many up am I going? I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our point is at 0, 6. Awesome, and our last question is, what quadrant is the shark tank located? Alright, so here are the sharks. What quadrant is this in? Right, it's in quadrant 4. So that is your answer. Alright, so that was our lesson on coordinates and ordered pairs. If you have any questions, please send me a message on Schoology. Otherwise, I hope you have